Okay, so your kid just had a meltdown because you cut their sandwich diagonal instead of straight. And you're standing there like it's the same amount of bread, and they're screaming like you committed a war crime. And your instinct is, just get over it. It's not that big a deal. But here's the thing. They're not wrong. They're not being irrational. Well, they are. But not in the way you think. What they're actually doing is learning emotional regulation. And if you just shut them down with stop crying, you're teaching them that feelings are bad, which creates an emotionally stunted adult. So today, we're breaking down the brain science of raising an emotionally intelligent kid. Because spoiler alert, it's not about making them happy. It's about teaching them to understand their feelings. Welcome to Brainology. So what's emotional intelligence? Most people think it's being nice, having good manners, not yelling, being empathetic. Nope. Emotional intelligence is actually understanding your own emotions, knowing what you're feeling, knowing why you're feeling it, recognizing patterns, managing your own emotions, not having a meltdown when things go wrong, being able to calm yourself down, making decisions from logic, not rage, understanding other people's emotions, seeing when someone else is upset, understanding why they're upset, caring about it, managing other people's emotions, being able to comfort someone, influence people, handle conflict without destroying the relationship. That's it. That's emotional intelligence. It's not about being nice. It's about being aware. The brain science. Emotional intelligence lives in your prefrontal cortex. That's the executive function part of your brain. And guess what? Kids don't have one. Well, they do. But it's not finished. The prefrontal cortex doesn't fully develop until age 25. So a 5-year-old? Zero emotional intelligence. They're literally incapable of understanding their own feelings. They just feel everything and have no idea why. Which is why they cry about the sandwich. Not because they're dramatic, because their brain can't process emotion yet. So your kid just screamed at you for literally no reason. And you're like, where is this coming from? And the answer is, their brain doesn't have the tools yet. Here's what's happening. They feel the feeling, their amygdala, emotion center, is fully developed. So they feel everything intensely. Something goes wrong, feels like the world is ending. But they can't process it. Their prefrontal cortex logic center is not developed. So they can't think through the feeling. They just feel it. Fully, completely, forever, in their mind. Example. We're not going to the park today. Kid's brain. Devastating news. This is the worst thing. I will never recover. Kid screams. Adult brain. Okay, the park will still exist tomorrow. This is a temporary setback. Kid brain. What is temporary? What is tomorrow? Only now and pain exist. They're not being dramatic on purpose. Their brain literally cannot see past the current feeling. They don't have words for feelings. Your kid feels sad, but they don't know it's sadness. They just know something hurts inside. So they throw a tantrum because that's the only language they have. It's like being in a foreign country where you don't speak the language. You're frustrated, but you can't explain why. So you just yell. That's your kid. Except the foreign country is their own brain. Most parents handle emotions badly. And it's not because they're bad parents. It's because nobody taught them. Here's what happens. Parent's instinct. Kid is crying. Parent thinks, this is annoying, make it stop. Parent says, stop crying, it's not that bad. What the kid learns. My feelings are bad, I should hide them. My parent doesn't want to hear about them. Result, kid grows up unable to process emotions because they learn to suppress them, not understand them. What should happen? Kid is crying. Parent thinks, okay, they're learning to process feelings. This is good. Parent says, I see you're sad. That's okay. Feelings are normal. What happened? What the kid learns. Feelings are normal. It's good to understand them. People care about my feelings. Result, kid grows up able to process emotions. The hard truth? Most parents were raised to suppress emotions, so they don't know how to teach emotional intelligence. They just repeat what their parents did, which was probably, Nothing helpful. So you're breaking a generational cycle, which is hard, because you have to do it differently than how you were raised. And that's uncomfortable. But it works. Okay, so here's how to actually raise an EI kid. Step 1. Name the feelings. When they're upset, say, "You seem frustrated." Don't ask why. Just label the feeling. Why? Because they don't have the words. You're giving them a vocabulary for emotions. Kid learns, oh, this feeling is frustration, not just pain. Step 2. Validate the feeling, not the behavior. Don't say, "Stop crying, it's not that bad." Say, "I see you're upset. That makes sense. The feeling is valid, the behavior might not be, but separate them." Kid learns, my feelings matter, even if my tantrum is not okay. Step 3. Don't fix it immediately. Let them feel the feeling for a bit. Don't rush in with solutions. Why? Because they need to practice being with emotions. If you fix it immediately, they never learn emotional regulation. Step 4. Teach coping strategies. Once they're calm, teach them deep breathing, counting down from 10, taking a walk, talking about it, not forcing them to be happy, but tools to manage the feeling. Step 5. Talk about your feelings. This is huge. If you hide your emotions, kids learn to hide theirs. If you say, "I'm frustrated right now, so I'm going to take a walk," you teach them it's normal to have and manage emotions. Model the behavior. Step 6. Listen without judgment. When they tell you what they're feeling, listen. Don't immediately say, "That's silly." Listen, validate, ask questions. Kid learns, my feelings are worth listening to. That's it. That's emotional intelligence. It's not complicated, it's just consistent. Here's the weird part about raising emotionally intelligent kids. You don't have to be perfect. Like your kid doesn't need you to be a therapist. They just need you to try. If you mess up, say you're sorry. Model what emotional regulation looks like. I yelled at you. I was frustrated. I'm sorry. That wasn't okay. Boom. Kid learns more from that than if you never messed up. Because you taught them that. Adults have big feelings too. Mistakes happen. Repair is possible. Feelings can be managed. The real thing. Your kid will be emotionally intelligent if they grow up with someone who names feelings, validates emotions, models regulation, listens without judgment. That's the whole list. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to care. And the fact that you're watching this means you already do. So there you have it. If this made you realize you're doing better than you thought, smash that like button. Subscribe to Brainology for more parenting plus brain science. And comment, what's one emotion your kid has that you don't know how to handle? Tell me. I want to know what's hard for you. Because you're not alone. Thanks for watching, and remember, you're raising a human who can understand their own feelings. That's actually incredible.